Warm blessings, everyone. This is Mastershamanpalichee. Today, I wanted to get the message out to you on what does it truly mean to be human. If you guys can type that down at the chat box, what does it mean to truly be human? There's so many things in our lives that we have changed along the way. And when I say we, it's all humans. And we have come a long way in regards to our ancient ancestors. We've also come a long way as in how we've gone through trauma or karma in our lives, in our grandparents and our parents, ancient ancestors, what they've gone through. And today I wanted to just get into some channeled knowledge that I've gotten that was downloaded to me. And I want to bring that out to you so that you can at least get a sense of really what that origin really meant. Now, this is all from my channeled knowledge, okay? I'm not saying that it's true. I'm not saying for you to believe me, but you can read that disclosure on the description and below. So, warm blessings. And if you haven't been here on the channel yet, this is Mastershamanpalichee with Palichee Healing. I'm a shaman, psychic medium, chi energy healer. I also do spiritual life coaching, helping people with trauma and karma, releasing those and releasing whatever intergenerational trauma or karma they've had before. Go hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't been on this channel before and you want to know more. And what I'm talking to today, you want to really know, dive deeper, know more into the origin of our human race, of how we got here, of why we're here, and what we're meant to do. Okay? I'm seeing that Sylvester is here. Warm blessings. Derry Combe, warm blessings. Happy Friday. Derry, I'm laughing because Derry Combe says, I can't understand the words, but you have a beautiful singing voice. Yes. You know what? I don't even know what I'm saying either. All the words that have come into the channeling of the healing songs that I do are all channeled in. And I have a sense and feeling of what the meaning is. But of course, they're naturally gifted words that have come in. They are the part of the ancient universal language. So thank you so much for saying that. Mei Li Chu, Sai Lor is here as well. Warm blessings. Come on in and listen in on this topic today of what it truly means to be human. Type down in the chat right now, what does it mean for you to be truly human? What does that really mean to us? You know, we often say, you know, if we can't do something right, or if we break down because of a situation, we often will say, oh, we're only human. Oh, I'm only human. Oh, he's only human. Oh, she's only human, right? But what does that really mean to us? Does that mean that we step back and we actually lower ourselves because we couldn't handle a certain situation? So then we're only human because we cry, because we get mad, because we couldn't control our anger or couldn't control our emotions? And also in that, what does that really mean to be human? Or is that more of something else that is non-human, right? Does that make sense to you guys all? Go on and chat in there. Type in the chat, hashtag Juju Chi. I see some of you coming in and tagging, hashtagging Juju Chi. Juju Chi, if this is your first time with me, Mastershamanpalichee with Palichee Healing, you'll know that this is my Freeing Friday. So I'm throwing out free one-card pulls and question and answer, Q&A, at the end. I'm also throwing out whatever you want to discuss. If you guys have something, a comment or something in regards to what I'm talking about, go in, don't be shy, chat in the chat there, type in the chat there of what you think of what I'm saying Is that something that feels right to you or doesn't feel correct, right? And we can talk about that, right? So my channel here on Mastershamanpalichee is to inform the misinformed. And why do I say that? Because there's so much information out there that has been misinforming other humans, right? Other people. And they have been getting the downloading from socially, right? Socially, or just maybe one person to another, or rumors, or in certain Facebook groups, or whatnot. Right? They've been getting the information maybe partially, and I'm not going to say that I'm fully giving you the information, right, completely, because that can take days and hours on end, right, to discuss even just one topic. And it's not going to be complete ever. Just know this, right? So if you ask a question about a certain dream, or what does this dream mean, or what does that mean if I had a paranormal experience, what does that mean? You can go hours on end in discussing what the meaning is and argue about it, or, debate about it. But what it means to you is the thing right now. What does that mean to you, and what your dream was to you personally? Doesn't mean it's going to mean the same to another person. And that's also what we're going to discuss about today in Truly Being Human, right? Because there's so many debates on who's right. There's so many debates on who's wrong, and in different topics, right? In different concepts, different philosophies. But who is going to be truly correct? What is truly correct? What is truly correct in my eyes has always been what I said to everybody else that comes along my path. It is what works, right? So I'm hoping that you guys can get that in today in your mindset, clear out anything that's been blocking you and limiting you on moving forward with your spiritual journey, on moving forward and being just you, right? And what does just being you mean? You got to go all the way back to when you were born and how you were as a child. Go back and revisit that time. I do this oftentimes when I do trauma releases, when I do karma releases, when we go back into past lives and we travel back into those layers that hurt, those layers that you have no clue of in this lifetime. But when I talk about it, it hurts you to the core. And you don't know why, but you have a feeling about it, and you feel something there that is bringing all this emotion, all these emotions up onto the surface, because we go that deep without you saying a word. That's in my trauma releases. On this show, what I do is I help you to move along your spiritual path, your life path, right? I also bring channeled information, and everything that I do is literally channeled. Because why? I believe that the spirit guides are as parents to me. They've brought me out of the deep, dark death hole to here and talking to you today. So discussion on topics such as this today, on the origin of humankind, right? What are we? Right, what are we here for? Discussing this, it'll help you somehow. I know this topic will help you and benefit you to even heal yourself today as you listen to me, as you listen to my spirit team through me talking to you. And at the end, we'll do 1 card pulls. If you want 3 card pulls, you can do a donation of $33.33 as usual. Or if you want a spirit message, same thing, but free 1 card pulls and free Q&A, whatever you want to know. So welcome to Ask Mastershamanpalichee. I want to thank all of you guys for being here today with me. If you haven't gone on to my YouTube channel and you're on my Facebook channel or Facebook group, or Facebook page, whatever you call it. There's so many crazy pages nowadays and so much social media pages, right? Can't keep track of all of them. What really is the true meaning is that we can connect with each other. Go out there on my YouTube channel, go like and subscribe. And if all my content has been helping you thus far, please go ahead and help donate to help the contents of this channel move forward and to grow. So if you haven't known me and you're new to the channel, this is Mastershamanpalichee with Folly the Healing. And Folly the Healing has been out and public and doing readings, healings, shamanic healings, various types of shamanic healing, not just Hmong shamanic healing, but various kinds, since 2011 publicly. So my first point here, right? I'm going to stop here right now and just kind of engage in you guys. There's been a couple of good comments. Aoife Lords, please remove, moderator, remove Aoife Lords. Please don't trail this channel or my Facebook business page. Aoife. So anyways, sorry for that distraction. The human origin, point 1 is channel knowledge and how we get here. How did we get here, everyone? Type down at the comments. I really like for you guys to interact with me. So type it down. Thank you, Sia Lore. I appreciate that. For reals, right? You know, it takes a lot of work to do these productions, to do even these lives. It's a lot of work. A lot of sweat and blood goes into it and preparation. Or maybe it's just those one-offs where I'm just like, I got to get out there today because I know I have to serve you guys. I know I have to tell you guys something that is, though you may not think it's important right at this moment, but I know it's going to be important for you in the future. So that's why I'm here, to serve you to the most that I can with the channeled knowledge that I have. And for those that are trailing and not appreciating of that, please help to remove them as well. Because I count on you guys. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here and supporting. So channeled knowledge. In the channeled knowledge that I received, us being as humans, we are here and we were here originally and created to be here on Earth, actually, as a species that already has what we're trying to get today. We already should, right, originally, we already would have had what we want to get today, as in spiritual intelligence, right? As in positivity, as in what we keep affirming to ourselves every day, day in, day out, right? We keep doing that. But we originally had that as human beings. And by knowing this, it hurts me that it was taken away from us, from our origin of humanity. How? One may ask, right? It was taken by the different negative entity types that also came onto Earth and wanted to channel in to the different people or kinds of humans that was on Earth at the time. So this is just many, many years ago, obviously, that you can imagine, right? But we originally had the morals that are usually set in, whatever religion that you go and believe in or have faith in, it doesn't matter. We were set in to have these morals that we live by, like kindness, love, compassion, and so on, right? We were set with that within our DNA. We were also set with the powers to be able to know what to find to eat, right? To also breathe fresh air, to know how to take care of ourselves, our bodies, to know what we need to eat in order to be more immortal on earth. We had this, and we can still have this, but we now long for it due to the corruption. And because of this negative entity or entities that all came down and intermixed and intertwined with humans, we are now a part of us that is very human, that has the superpowers that we long for in these days, right, and age, and been longing for it ever since. Ever since many, many, many different, how can I say, resets, ever since many, many times that we've been having to go back again and then trying to find it again as each generation lives and dies off, then our ancestors gets to, right, from the good and benevolent ones up there that created us, right? They've also brought in our ability to connect spiritually. We were born to have guidance. If you guys didn't know that yet, we were born to be guided. But we do also have this free will inside of us that we can choose to be guided by what? And you cannot not be guided, right? There's no way that you are not guided. When you say, it's my decision, yeah, you have that decision. So that's the only thing that you have. Everything else, you're either guided into one direction or another, by negative entities or by positive entities. But when you're stuck, when you have a blockage and you're stuck, that's when you're not sure which one you're going to choose to be guided by. So, if you didn't know yet, this is how we got here. We were created to be put here, really, because we have our ancestors on a different planet, right? Some also came here as their origins as well, and then some also left. And we are here as human beings. Some of us may have some parts of the original humans, right, that are not here on earth, because the rest of the time, everything else was history, right? History meaning intermixed, intertwined with also other kinds of entities as well. And we're about to go on that route again if you guys don't wake up. If you guys don't allow yourselves to not be afraid of listening to what is benevolent to your mind. Not be afraid of that. And yet, I know it's very difficult to discern because intergenerational wise, we're blaming it on each generation before us. And then also the one here is blaming it, is kind of saying, well, if you guys don't do this, then your generation's going to be, whacked or messed up, whatever the words you want to use. So each generation, whether back or forth, is blaming the other. And if you don't stop right now to smell the flowers, to sit for at least 15 to 30 minutes and just calm it down, relax your mind, and get back onto the path, get back in your truth, then you will not have any clue what 5D living is like. You will not have any understanding of how you got here, what your origin was, because you will not be able to find and track that back if you don't be in it within your mind to observe it long enough. And if you don't stop blaming another generation for the faults now, or karma or trauma now, yes, it could have been whoever's issue, right? Whoever had caused whatever that now has caused you to have karma, that now has caused trauma into your life. Karma causes trauma, and vice versa. And it will continue on until you stop blaming and you start to heal and willing to heal yourselves. And you have to find the way. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not also saying that it's hard or difficult to do, but it takes one decision. Who are you going to listen to? Who is it going to be? Think back to your origin. Your bloodline of human race is still in you the most, because look at yourself in the mirror. But we're about to be on the brinks, I don't know how many years from now, but we're being fed the ideology of being okay with not looking human. Can you understand that? So if you want to continue to be more human, and your children and the future, to sustain human being life and to get as close as we can back to our original humanistic beings, when we did have the superpowers, like the movies show that it was someone else that came from a different planet. There's, Superman, Wonder Woman, and others. They are like made up characters, right? But are they? Get it through your head. And this is the spiritual life coach in me that's coming out to you today. The healer in me is going to say, pat you on the back and say, there, everything's going to be okay, yeah. But the spiritual life coach in me says, I know I'm going to heal you to that point, but do you want to go there? Do you want this? Do you want your generations to be and keep their humanistic selves, and to actually hone in on the abilities, the gifted abilities that they originally did have, or can now come into acquiring due to the fact that we have some awesome healers out there today. And we've always had. It's just that they were hidden. Because most people, humans, along the way could not handle to go back to the origins. Could not handle. It was too hurtful, if you can understand. It was too traumatic to lose it due to whatever factors I'm not going to talk about today. Point 2 is, were we built to be guided? And I kind of answered that when I was talking about that. But were we built to be guided? Answer that question over there, right? If you think that we were actually created here on earth to be guided by spirit guidance, and we've always had that, type yes. Type yes, I believe so, right? Let me know what you think and what other people think, because those ones that can't really decipher right now need to see the volume of people that think the same way as them, because otherwise they're going to be very scared and hidden away, and no one's going to want to be sustained of the human race. No one's going to want to sustain the human race, because they're going to think, oh, this is the norm now going into the future, right? The near future. This is the norm now. We should look like something else. Because at that point, it's less original human and more of something else. And that something else has been trying and testing and trying so many generations in eons ago to have us do that. And now, believe it or not, as I channel through messages, even as I speak to you now, there's many of our leaders out there that is willing to let the human race go. Wake up. You need to get onto your spiritual path so that you can wake up, so that you can discern, right? So that you can also see other people that actually thinks like you, but we're afraid to actually be out there. And that's why I'm posing in this very important message today on this Freeing Friday. Why are we trying to free, by the way? What are we trying to free? Type down in the comments on the either comments or chat, wherever you want to type. Why are we trying to be free? Why is there Freeing Friday? Guess, right? Put a good guess. Put a good guess there. Why are we trying to be free? Why is this Freeing Friday? I'll let you know that we are trying to be free of the beast. The beast that has been implemented into ourselves. Everyone feels this, but does not know what the heck it is, but they just want to be free. Ask yourself that question. Why do you want to be free? And when I say free, that can literally mean physically free for some of you that are watching from wherever you're watching, internationally, nationally, wherever in the world that you're watching. But why is it that you want to be free? Because you want to ultimately, your soul begs to be free of the beast. And what is this beast? That's another conversation for another day. But I'll tell you today that it's not good. I'll tell you that it's negative entity wise, and it has been stalling the growth of humankind for many centuries, for many eons, since the beginning of time here on earth. Not the beginning of time, but the beginning of time here on earth. What do you guys think? Has our values and moral standards been devalued over time? Has it? Has our, all the morals that maybe even our parents, and when I say our parents, I'm talking about everybody's parents. It doesn't mean I'm Hmong and, back in the villages. I'm talking about back in the way back beyond villages, right? Or maybe even the cities that we've had before that were so sophisticated here on earth. Because those cities were made by our original humankind and the help of those that created us, right? Now, some cities, ancient cities in the world, was not created by the benevolent kinds. So you must be able to decipher which one was which. The only way you can do that is 1, research, 2, meditate, and originate your pure thoughts to come in so that you can understand and decipher and discern which one was which, right? Our morals and standard has been devalued over time. As you can see, not a lot of people are holding doors for another person now, not even for an old person. I ran into somebody the other day, and they didn't even hold a door for an older person that was coming in back of them. They just kept walking. Even though they saw at the corner of their eyes, they continued to walk. And I think to myself, gosh, what is our world coming to? Again, it's that question again. And I know how many of you, with the raise of your hands or with the raise of your chat in the chat, go text it or go write it there. What is the, what have you come across that has made you feel like asking the question, what is our world coming to, right? What is our world coming to, really? It's like, in coming in from channeled sacred knowledge, we want to ask that question, right? What is it really coming to? What is going to be changing for our world soon here? What is that? What is it going to be? Is it going to be me looking at another person that has 3 eyes? Is it going to be you looking at your child and, knowing that they are maybe more vulnerable because of their bloodline or DNA has been somewhat disturbed or distracted and tainted in such a way through whatever means? Can you understand what I'm coming from? What is our world coming to in the humanistic life, right? And we work every day. We try to pay our bills. We try to live as we should and try to get it off our minds. We are trying to live so that we can be able to live more at peace, live in less stress. We just are everybody, most people that I know wants to be free. Most people that come across my path wants to be set free. And they feel like they can't. They feel like they're stuck at a certain job or career, or they are stuck paying the bills, or they're scrambling to pay the bills, or they are not where they want to be in their life right now at a certain age. Or maybe they are at a young age but don't know really what they want to do because they have so much, they're living in 5D already, and they can't see the future. They can't see what they're really, if I'm going to, right, this child, if he's or she is going to go and study in anatomy or to be a doctor, yeah, that brings a lot of money. Yeah, anatomy, it's like, I love this. Yes, it's good to learn. Learning can never stop. Knowledge can never be at its end. But what is that career going to look like? What are you going to be using that for? And in order for us to really hone in on taking that knowledge that we know that today we're learning, because we're in the present time, the times are what it is. We have to still do what we need to do. And I understand that because I'm doing the same. But what needs to also be at the forefront is preparing yourselves to live in a higher state of mind because of what is coming up. Okay? Meaning life is going to be different, and it has been different, but it has always been, if you can understand where I'm coming from. It has always been. It's just that it was not in our sight. It was hindsight. Now it's at the front sight. Now, if you were into your meditations, now if you were able to just sit there for 15 to 30 minutes and just hone in on your pure thoughts, and I teach that through my boosted meditations, is that you'll get the answer. Maybe it's not a clear-cut answer, but it's something that's going to awaken you to take some steps or lead you to the step or attract the step to urge your heart, your mind to go there, to prepare. And that's what you need to do, along with what you are doing in the present moment, right? If you're stressing out over bills, if you're stressing out over your shamanic journey, if you're stressing out trying to figure out all these things out with your relationship, if you have one or if you don't have one, if you're trying to figure out the relationship with you and your child, and you've been having some conflicts in the family, it's been dysfunctional, I don't blame you, because everybody literally is going through that. If I just close eyes and take a look at all households in the universe, here on earth, I can see that literally everybody argues about something, have conflict about something, don't agree. Mom doesn't agree with daughter, daughter doesn't agree with mom. The whole family may be having a dispute of some sort or disagreements, and then it breaks up after a while, and everybody breaks into their living by themselves and never calling each other again. And then later on, as they age, maybe one or two will come back and call each other. And that has been the cycle. If that is incorrect, please correct me. Because when I look into all households of how everybody is doing, how is the state of our human beings, it's literally the same. And don't feel bad. Don't be ashamed if your family is dysfunctional. If you've had intergenerational, if you've realized that you've had intergenerational trauma or karma, because it is all over the place. There's going to be some people, and they've had it before, but they've come to learn, they've come to forgive, they've come to heal. And that's why some households are okay now, or have become okay, right? So tonight, this weekend, I know it's like I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but at the same time, I don't want to put this in hindsight, because this is at the forefront. You're literally looking at it every day when you watch a movie, when you watch YouTube, when you're watching something out there that is giving you that message that our human race is changing. Hopefully, we hope that it changes for the better. When I say hope, I mean that I have faith that you will change it for the better. Instead of deciding, because you have that free will, and that's the one thing that you have, is the decision part. To decide whether you're going to listen to the good, or are you going to listen to the non-good or the non-human. I should put it that way. All right. Sylvester says, I feel like it's going to get worse and worse from here on out. It could get worse, because that is what we are seeing. But at the same time, it also could get better. But that is also up to our decision to make it better as a human race, as the collective. And when we say the collective, if you guys don't know what that means and you're new to spirituality and you're more new to all these terms, the collective means it's a collective mindset, right? It's a collective mindset, brain, consciousness that is out there in the cosmos, and you're part of it when you become awakened. And you help shift and shape our human race as well. So I'm here to encourage you to wake up. I don't care who your sifu is. I don't care if you have a teacher or you don't have a sifu or teacher or guru. But you have the natural abilities inside of yourself, and you need to believe in that because our original human beings had that. Can we go back all the way and grab that again? It will take some work, I shall say. Right? Sia says, I'm listening and driving at the same time. Mastershamanpalichee, if you do get to the reading part, I'd like to know if I'm on the right path with my, how do I say this? On the right path with my spiritual journey. Thank you. You're welcome, Sia. We'll get there. I'm going to be getting there very soon here. If you guys get me started, I won't stop, right? Animal says yes to restore correct past life trauma. It's all about restoring past life trauma, right? It's all restoring what we used to have, what we had as an original human being, love, compassion for one another, opening the door behind us, even though we saw the person, we're not going to ignore them. If you saw somebody that you knew and you had a grudge towards them, you're not going to say hi. Well, heck, just say hi. The present time is different from the past. Just let it go, right? Mai Shung Lor says, yes, I believe so. Warm blessings to all of you guys. Give me a Juju Chi and heart. I love hearts. I love stars as well. Type that in. If you guys are on either YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform. So great. Loving this. So even though our morals and values and those standards has been devalued, guess who's the one that's going to be in the duty to bring it back up to value, up to par? Guess who? Right? It is going to be you. No one's going to bring it up to par. Who's going to care about you at the end of the day? Right? Guess what that means? You make and create the difference, right? You are the one that do that. And I'm here to just literally remind you that you can do that. Why should you not do that? You are the one that can make the difference. And you're the one that needs to allow yourself to change your mindset from the past. Because what have I talked about that happened in the past? Lots of resets. Lots of times where our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents passed without teaching us, without telling us what was the morals, what was supposed to be fed to us was not taught to us. But instead, we didn't choose to listen to them either, right? Even if they did. You know, how many of you listened to your parents when if they were here, if they're here now, if they were here before, right? Those of you that had parents that maybe are not here anymore, right? Did you listen to them when they were here? Or did you listen to them after you hit a wall? It's usually after you hit a wall. It's usually after you fall and you get back up. That's usually after you're like, oh, yes, my mom was right. Oh, I know my dad was right. Now I can see the picture. Gosh, why didn't I see it before? And then you're like doing exactly what they're doing, right? And being in the right. Now you are able to take the steps that they took because you can see the picture of what they were trying to teach you. morally. But why does it have to take that? And I'm here to say, let's not take that. Let's just get the mindset in first so that you don't have to wait till you hit a wall and just go right along through. And there is no wall. Okay? If you guys are new to the channel, go out there to like and subscribe to Mastershamanpalichee to give you the correct information from the incorrect information, to channel in the information. All information I give you is channeled in from my spirit guides to you to help you move you along through your life path, your spiritual journey, because really our life path, and if for some of you that don't know it yet, our life path has always been a spiritual journey. It has always been purposeful. It's just that some of us has not been awakened to it or for it. So will you show up for your life path? All right? Warm blessings to Ahon Terry. You're here as well. Shua Yang, Arad, Charlotte Vang. Warm blessings. Type down your comments, questions in the chat. I'll be glad to answer them. I was on a roll. On a roll. And let's go into the card readings. If you have questions, type that down. We'll do 1 card pulls. For those of you that wants your 3 card pull, you can definitely let me know as well. Sylvester Chong says, I pray for the best, but I expect the worst as well. Yes. Shuo Yang says, a hot mess of kind of what everybody is kind of thinking, what's happening to our human race, humanity. Garnet Yang Yin says, people value things, materials means more than life. Yep, I would agree with you. I totally agree with that. Juju Chi, warm blessings, Sylvester. Power Lore says, hi, you are an awesome human being. Those that are reading this comment, you're pretty awesome too. Warm blessings, Power Lore. All right. Questions, comments, questions about your spiritual journeys, go on and type that in the chat. Yeah, Ia says, please give me a card pull. Here you go, yeah, Ia. Yeah, Ia. Yeah. Yeah, Ia, yeah. Warm blessings. This is card pull for yeah, Ia. Okay. This is your card. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Trusting the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Trust is not running. Time is not running out. So you need to trust the timing, okay? Trust that what you've come along all this far with, especially your career. I'm seeing your career is number 1 right now, okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trust that your timing is going to be just right. Though you may have to scramble a little bit, okay, to be able to be less stressed. You may be having to scramble a bit career-wise. Just know that your timing is going to come in when you are going to find that, I would say, that one position or role for the time being, because we have to still scramble, right? For what the society that we give up to live in. So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the card for you, okay? If that makes sense for you, yeah, 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 type it down in the chat or comments below. All right. My Lord says, I have a question. If we were meant to wake up and be a part of the solution, why couldn't we just be born with the knowledge of the current situation and instead have to relearn it again as we go? You know, that is a very good question, my Hyung. So I'll answer that question. The reason being is that there was a point in time when the humans made the decision to, it's like this. They wanted the power to be more powerful when they already had the powers, when they already had the superpowers in themselves, the natural gifts and abilities. When they had that, they took it for granted, making the decision to take it for granted, and also for some, the decision to want more power. So greediness came in to the picture. And so now they were intermixed with negative type entities that also gave them powers, but negative powers, right? And these powers then caused for humanity to also dehumanize humanity. So that's why it was made a decision by the creators that we would not remember everything, all the knowledge that was downloaded to us in the previous lives. Now, mind you, there are some that are lucky enough, depending on their makeup of their soul, they will remember, okay? I hope that answers your question. I know it's a bummer that we can't just have it and we have to relearn it, but that is also part of the karma that was caused due to, and I'm speaking for the humanity of the human karma, right? Greed, jealousy, all that came into play. So that's why we don't get to know what we are supposed to know or should have known in the past. And we have to strive, we have to be willing to heal ourselves in this lifetime or in the lifetime we live, heal our soul, because that soul has been through so much karma or trauma. I hope that answers your question. If it answers your question, please type it down in the chat and let me know. I love to hear your feedback, and it just helps. I have Sylvester Xiong, and Sylvester, you says, oh, can I do a spiritual message for me? Yes, definitely. Last time we were on Freeing Friday Live, Sylvester came in and he wanted a 3-card pull. And I actually ended the show before he was able to do that. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull for Sylvester. And it's only on and through the live Freeing Friday Lives, okay, that I do these special 3-card pulls. And if you want that, go on and go to palichee@gmail.com. It is in the how can I'm sorry. Description. I kind of lost my tongue there. In the description down below, you'll see the link to that in the tip jar to do that as well. Or if you don't see the tip jar, there's also a link to, or actually you could type it into PayPal. So I also need to make a living, as you know. So this also helps you to pay it forward as I talk to you guys today. Okay. So here we go, Sylvester Hyung. 3-card pull for Sylvester. All right. So Sylvester, I have a 3-card pull, but I'm also going to give you a message as well, okay? And from this card pull, here goes this message. Dear Sylvester, you are in love with spirituality at this time. Don't fall out. Don't fall out of love. Brace yourself when it is coming in your time due. You will run a duty as well. Embrace yourself then, as you are now. Though it makes no sense, it ties and tangles and throws you off on certain times, on certain days. Let your parents, your spiritual parents, lead the way and guide you with the sun, moon, and stars. One purpose of yours is to be a leader in where you stand and where you come from when the time comes. But don't hold your head up. Let ego down. Hold yourself accountable. Your trauma will be left and unprofound. That is the spirit message for you, Sylvester. I hope that makes sense to you. If that makes sense to you, Sylvester, or if it doesn't, please comment or chat and let me know. Your cards, it feels so stuck in regards to the moving forward in the personal self. I feel like there is a childhood trauma that has been very holding you back on almost everything, okay? Everything that you do. The only thing it hasn't held you back in was there is a career area or this passion that you love to do, and that's the thing that has been leading you forward. So that is your spiritual message and or reading, okay? Sylvester says, yes, it does. Thank you. Warm blessings. There is a question. How would someone know they are awakening? What are the signs? How does someone know they are awakening, and what are the signs? That's a question. Okay. From Shua Ying. So Shua, when you start to wonder, okay, so this is if someone didn't hit a wall, if someone, they're just kind of, living their life and they are starting to just to awaken to a spiritual path or so, right? So they would know that the signs is they would know if they are going through actually karmic things. So paranormal activities, or if they're arguing every day with their spouse or their child or children, or if they are not getting along with everybody else but only want to be by themselves. This is a sign of needing to awaken. Needing to awaken meaning they are awakening. They are being pushed to awaken, actually, at that point, right? They are being pushed to awaken because there's something that they need to heal, and they're not willing to do it. They're not willing to face that healing. They are in denial of what needs to happen for them. Good. So they're lagging, they are building walls around themselves, they are guarding themselves, their heart, if it's a relationship. So they are actually blocking themselves, but they are pushed to be awakened. And the signs when you are pushed to be awakened and you are in the midst of becoming awakened, right, is when you are actually begging for help, when you're actually at a standstill and you're like, I don't know what else to do, I need help. And then the other signs beyond that point is you are still going through paranormal activity. You'll go through illnesses and it'll come off and on. And this is on the very like edgy or very deeper signs as well. You may have dreams and dreams about flying. Okay. And some may have dreams about flying from a very young age. I had dreams about flying when I was as far as I can remember. So these awakening signs can come in any time of your life, any specific phase of your life, they can come, right? I hope that answers your question. But these are just some of the very big signs that would come. The paranormal activity doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative paranormal activity. It can mean that you saw or you visualized something and you were stopped because you saw this vision that was so clear, and it could have been angelic, or it could have been Jesus, or it could have been Shi, whatever it was, right? Or you could have been vibrating out of the blue, right? And maybe it wasn't out of the blue, because usually it's not out of the blue, because somebody or something musical or sound wise or thought wise triggered it, right? So that was Shuo Ying's question. So more questions. I'm going to be leaving in a bit here. Okay. Um, let me see here. Oh, Sylvester Xiong says, I was seeing a bunch of random images popping up in my head, and I somehow stumbled upon your medicine healing song, as we talk about songs and sounds, and it helped make it less frequent. So thank you, Mastershamanpalichee. You're welcome, Sylvester. Warm blessings. I'm glad that happened for you. All right. Okay. Sylvester, if you want a dream to be interpreted, you can go out and donate that before I leave, and just let me know that you did. You're welcome. Shuo Ying says, thank you for explaining. Silor says, one card reading. So let's do this one card reading for Sai, and then she also says, I need guidance. One card pull. All right. If you guys are new to the channel, go out and subscribe, like. Go out and share this with people that needs it and that wants to ask questions, that needs to ask questions because they are on a path, because they are probably stuck right now, whether it's their relationship or career or themselves, right? Or if they have had trauma in their lives and that can't get over it, even at, whatever age that they're at. They could be 40s and 50s and 60s. I've had a 70-year-old man come to me once at an exposition, and we were facing face to face, right? And he asked about a relationship issue. And I said, it goes back to this relationship that you first had when you first dated. And tears starts running down his eyes, and you wouldn't believe it, but he was 70 something years old, and he lost his wife actually
and he wanted to go back to the person, and I think he had a regret about that person as well, and he wanted to go back and say something to that person because he broke up with her. Can you believe that? That was a trauma in his life. And I don't know how he did after that, or I told him that he should go and find this person and actually go apologize to them if he really felt that that was necessary. And it was just something so deep in him of whatever happened in that first relationship that caused him to have trauma every other relationship that he had after that. Even the wife that passed away, she didn't live long with him. So that traumatized him, and also the person that married him as well. So it can be very domino effect wise as well. Okay. So Sia, here's the card pull for Sia Lore. Here we go. Sia, I've got this card for you. Okay. So for Sia, the card is saying this um, connection back to yourself. I feel like there's been a purposeful need in regards to facing your career in a way where you would feel something purposeful that you're working towards, because you're in the shoes of everybody else is in the same shoe like this. And right now I think you're feeling on a scale of 0 to 10, you're at about a 9-10 in regards to how you feel about yourself in your career path, how it's been going, and what can you do about it. So your career goal is sort of hindered right now due to how you feel about yourself in your career and what you can make movement on or can't make movement on. And I want to tell you, you can make and create the difference. You can go out there and create that, but it's going to go with your attitude. It's going to go with how you feel about yourself, and the person that's going to be speaking to you to let you in to the through the door is going to look at how you are uh, character wise, how you are behaving, how's your attitude towards what you're trying to do, and that's going to be the key for you, Sia. Okay, does that make sense? But right now you're at a scale of 1 to 10, you're at about a 9. Okay, you're at about a 9. Okay. All right. So Sylvester, okay. Sylvester says I donated. Here's his dream. Okay. I had a dream. I was somewhere dark and I had a light with me. Then out of nowhere, I saw a demon and I asked who the demon was. And he said he was the devil. We talked for a bit. So Sylvester, this goes into your spiritual path, okay? So you're being prompted to actually meet with someone, something that is very negative entity wise, and it's probably the master of negative entities on one of the cultures, okay? I shall say some cultures is pretty much that, but they don't call it that word. Um, but you've met with something that was very negative entity wise. This goes into your spiritual path because it's allowing you to be tested and try to see what your reaction would be to meet something that's very negative in a dream, and then to see what that will cause for you or influence you on the outside. Okay. And also, this can be very determinant on who you are with at this time, as in friends and who you're hanging out with. Um, but you had a light with you. So I feel like there's a part of you that there's a safety net that you were a part of, but it's letting you be in the presence of a negative entity. And this negative entity is something that I feel that is also within yourself, or that trauma, okay? And you're trying to face this trauma within yourself. And this is the part that I was saying before that was the hardest part to remove or get out from. Okay. if that makes sense from you, but you've recently been triggered through the dream state of mind to meet this very negative entity. And it can also go into a family decision back then in regards to your belief, okay, or their belief. So go check in on that as well, because they could have had someone in the family could have had a choice or decision to change what they believed in or change their faith. And now you're meeting with that faith's entity to really face it off due to this trauma that you've had in the past as a child. Okay, if that makes sense for you, Sylvester, let me know. All right. And I'm going to do one more card pull for Yang here. Okay. Yang says, I would like to have a card pull. All right. And then we're going to do a card for the weekend. If you guys been hanging out with me this long, you should stay for the card for the weekend or come back and take a look at it too. Sylvester says, thank you very much with an exclamation. All right. Going back to Yang. Here we go. Yang. Card pull for you. Okay. So this card tells me that you're in a time of change right now, and a part of you wants to forgive, but really it's really hard to try to get over that hoop or that obstacle of forgiving. This goes back to forgiving yourself, maybe for what you've said in the past to someone. And we can go into a deeper reading for Yang or all of you guys, in fact, through a personal reading. Link is down in the description. But Yang, this is a time for you to start on the healing process, to begin your healing process, because you don't want to go in deeper of this holding this stuckness in you. And from the stuckness standpoint, on a scale of 0 to 10, you're at about a 6, a 5, 6 ish. And it has to do with relationships, not necessarily family, but relationships with others. Okay, relationship with others that may have you may have thought that offended you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, and you'll need to forgive that on a social level. If that makes sense for you, Yang, give me a Juju Chi. Okay. All right. So Yang was the last card reading that we did here. Warm blessings. Okay. And let's go into our card for the weekend. Before I go into the card for the weekend, I wanted to share with you guys that if you are on with me and you have subscribed or liked or hit the notification button, go ahead and do that. Go donate if you feel and felt that my content has helped you in any way, shape, or form, that has also helped you to shape some things in your life till this time as well, and today's show as well. But I wanted to let you know that I have a meditation, a boosted meditation event coming up. It's a virtual event, just like here, you and I, and it's going to be a group setting, and we're going to boost your meditations. If you've been meditating, you will be boosted even greater. If you have not ever meditated, well, you will start to learn how to meditate. So it's for whatever level that you're in right now. Go on and go check that out when that comes out. I'll be putting that out either tomorrow or Sunday or this weekend sometime. So check that out and sign up for it. Okay. Everybody needs extra boost. I know that because I've met many that tells me, oh, I've done several meditations. I'm good at it. I don't need any help. But then they come to me for healing and come to find that they really do need that extra help, and they've had blockages. They've had blockages in meditation because due to the blockages of the karma in their past lives or the life in this lifetime, or due to the trauma that they have never released. And you can release trauma one time, but you can never release all the trauma, like each level of trauma or karma that you've had. And until you are willing to continue to do that, and you can only continue to do that by yourself if you can boost your meditations, okay? Whether it's spirit guides helping you to boost it, or you having a healer like myself help you through it and boost it for you, okay? All right. And here we go for the card of the weekend. All right, take a deep breath, everybody. All right, we have this card for us. Well and Orga elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So here this card tells me that for the weekend, you need to go and think back of what we just talked about today. And this relates back to humanity sustaining our human race. This goes back to, are you concerned? What are we coming to, right? And you making a difference and creating that difference. Even though we have a feeling inside, it's telling us something's going to be worse than how it is now, but something can also be better as well. We need to put that thought into the universe at a very conscious level and a subconscious level as well, into the collective. And you need to share your song. And your song could be any kind of song. It could be even the song, like someone said, I love you. I love how you were singing and the words, but I don't know the words and I don't know what the meaning is. And you don't know how many times I've been told that by so many people when they hear on whether it's YouTube or wherever I'm singing at a workshop, expo, wherever, they come up to me and they'll say, hey, I love the language of that. What is that? Is that your own language? And I said, no, it's universal language. Okay. So share yourself, your song, share what you have to share. You feel like sharing, you're urged to share. The frequency of that sound is going to heal you. Just know that, right? All right. I'm going to stop here and let's do this because I want to thank all of you guys that have been with me till this time. And I'm going to do a healing song. All right. And I wanted to just thank you guys for, coming in and connecting through the chat, being interactive, because that's what it takes for us to communicate. We need to allow communication to be one of our morals and not just look at each other. But I know that that could be possible in the future as well with telepathy, right? So here we go. You can close eyes and get a sampling of this today. And if you're driving, like the other gal says, don't close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and we'll see you guys next time. Warm blessings from Mastershamanpalichee with Falithi Healing. Bye-bye.